other big development that happened today, where ICMR actually put out this information about the Bharat Biotech's Covaxin. The biggest concern that we have in our country right now is this new version of the COVID virus, the new strain, which is called the double mutant strains, where two different variants of the COVID virus actually merged together and became this double mutant, which is largely being said to be one of the key factors for the fast spread of infection in our country right now. It is said to be one of the leading factors, apart from unlocking, that has brought us to the state that we are in currently, that this virus now, this mutant spreads faster, it infects people at a faster pace. Now, ICMR says that the recent study shows that the same Bharat Biotech's Covaxin will be used and does show some efficacy, is effective against the double mutant. What does this mean? Will it be the same for other vaccines as well? Let's try and understand that with the panelists who are joining us on this conversation. Dr. Virendra Singh Chauhan, Emeritus Professor for International Center for Genetic Engineering and Biotech, and Dr. Rakesh Mishra, Director for Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology, which is the CCMP, joining us right now. Dr. Chauhan, let me start off with you. I mean, for me, and I am not very well versed with these things, which is why I ask you this question, but it was very interesting to see that for the longest time, our government wouldn't actually tell us just how widespread is this double mutant and what does that really mean. But we do know now already that Covaxin is effective when it comes to the double mutant. Can you help us understand what this study really shows?
So very quickly, I think I'll make it as less technical as possible. Let me say this to you. There are 9 vaccines that are now out in the market. Johnson & Johnson is the recent latest one. All vaccines till today have been tested for one thing. They ensure, at least ensure you, and only ensure you, that you will not get severe disease and that you will not go to hospital and that you will not meet your death. These are not vaccines which are efficacy is not about whether you can get infected after vaccination or not. So that's the first point. All vaccines, whether it is Covaxin, there are 4 vaccines which are based on the platform on which Covaxin is based on. One is Covaxin itself. Then there are 3 other which use the same virus, the whole virus. All of them have been shown to be protective in what they promise to be protective. Same is true for viral-based, which is a viral vector-based vaccine, which is Covishield, which is Johnson & Johnson, which is Sputnik, and which is Sinopharm of Chinese vaccine. The data from the large data that is available from all over the world, that these vaccines have been spectacularly successful in protecting people from going to severe disease. The confusion sometimes comes when you are immunized with even with 2 doses, will you get infection or not? The answer is that you may get infection. Chances are that chances are lesser. Chances that you'll infect others will be lesser. In other words, you'll be less infectious. But the vaccines have never promised that you will not get infection again. So I'll just again clarify that for you. The question that you're asking about the mutants. Now, there are very small studies, earlier studies, which created some sort of confusion done in South Africa on 2,000 people, that the earlier virus, which is Wuhan virus, when that spread, whether the mutant, which is South African mutant, will be neutralized by those antibodies or not. So the lab test said the antibody response will be slightly compromised. Largely, broadly, yes, but maybe there will be a portion that the virus might escape immune responses. However, when the data got spread out all over the world, it is very clear, as I speak with you, all vaccines. So Covaxin does 100% efficacy, so much the better, that is the proof. But there is no proof that other vaccines are less efficacious. Again, I say that it protects you from severe disease and protects you from going to the hospital, protects you from dying. All mutants as of now, whether it's triple mutant or not, there's no data on triple mutant escape mutant. And just to clarify once again, what will be a true escape mutant? A true escape mutant would be which is not neutralized by antibody responses that you create either by natural infection or by induced by the vaccine. We have no evidence. And finally, I'll say the human immune system actually produces huge bursts of antibody responses upon vaccination. So, and this is broad responses, not only specific one protein responses. And the burst, and then second time when you encounter the antigen or the virus, then there's something called B cell maturation. And B cell maturation allows even further expansion of antibodies. So very briefly, in very simple terms, no fear. Any vaccine that is available, we will have 3 vaccines available very soon. Hopefully, Sputnik will come soon. Whatever you get, that will protect you against what vaccines are promising you.
So, if I can just take that across Dr. Mishra as well, because Rakesh Mishra, this is the first question that everybody asks us to say, oh, the mutant, the virus is so quickly evolving, so many variants, so many strains, double mutant, triple mutant, UK variant, this and all. Will the vaccines that we have right now be effective? Now, it seems ICMR says Covaxin will be, but what about the others? Since they are on a different technology platform from Covaxin, will they also be able to adapt quickly?
Yeah, it's not that vaccines are adopting. Vaccines, when they are provided, they provide a surface of, mimic the surface of the virus, and which provides as an antigen, and antibodies are raised against, and that's how the virus is attacked and neutralized. So, and when you are talking about the variants, they are one amino acid change at a place, then another amino acid change some other place. In fact, double mutant, triple mutant, these are all misnomers. Each of these variants carry 10, 15 mutations that defines their lineage. So there is nothing particular scary or special about this double mutant or even the so-called triple mutant, which we still don't know much about. So what we are going to see is maybe very, very small, sometimes negligible, sometimes maybe noticeable change in the how much of an antibody is required to neutralize the virus. Currently, what you have seen, the study of ICMR is in fact is like a phase 3 trial, which has been interpreted in the context of the new variants which is going around. And new variant, remember, new variant is only 10% of the total infection. It is not as misconceived that is the cause behind this new surge. 90% of the surge is because of something else that if we think properly, we can figure out. So what it means is that, and so otherwise how the vaccine works and how the multiple antibodies are raised against the antigen that is given, which may be whole virus, which case of Covaxin, which as Professor Chauhan explained very nicely, or even the Covishield, which is the entire the spike protein, which is a large protein, and large number of, let's say, 20, 30 antibodies will be attacking the protein. Now, one may be less efficient. So these are all the experts have already predicted before that. At the moment, we don't have to worry about immune escape so much about these vaccines, and they will keep providing the protection, which is save life and avoid hospitalization, which is what is the claimed advantages of these vaccines, and it persists. And the current ICMR preliminary studies simply confirm that. There are other ways of checking that which are happening. I'm sure many labs are doing. We are also doing. We are culturing these new variants, and we will know in coming days if there is any quantitative difference in neutralization of these. But all the indications are that we don't have to panic about the effect of vaccine against the variant there so far.
Okay, well, that is good to know. I wish we had more time with both of you. It's always a pleasure to have you on the shows and hear the insights that you have to share. But I am completely out of time. Thank you so much for joining me on this conversation. The good news is that the ICMR study says, Covaxin is effective even against a double mutant. Interestingly, Dr. Ella himself, the Bharat Biotech vaccine maker, didn't know about it until yesterday when he spoke to another TV channel and said, in a week's time maybe we will know. But the report actually came out today itself. What is good is that most of the vaccines seem to be effective so far. How the virus evolves, where it goes and where it takes us remains to be seen. Thank you so much for joining us on this conversation.